Okay, 2106, good luck. Not played before, no head-to-head score. 4,000 games for my opponent, nearly. Again, stick to a traditional reti. E6, G3. Probably B3, or maybe just collect the pawn. Yeah, let's just take the pawn back, otherwise we might not get another chance to. I'm actually going to go B3 and potentially develop the bishop somewhere. Drop the queen back. Okay, is there some tactic here? I don't think so. Knight up, you just take the bishop, don't you? Take the knight here, no good. Let's develop. It's just a case of whether I want to go forward in the centre or not. Okay, we might not get much of an option too. I mean, I guess we could, or we could play knight up. Maybe even a4 might be a move here, but I'm just going to go d3 for now to secure this and try and get my knight into play. Now a4 feels like it's sensible. I don't think this is a move, but it might be, I suppose. I'm going to go a4. If takes, I'll go with the rook. Try and leave these pawns here. The queen comes up. And now knight up might be a move again. Bishop takes. I've got knight takes first if I want it. Not really gaining anything though. But we have got an option to push a pawn. I'm not seeing anything better than knight forward. Do I take? Do I push a pawn? Try and plant a pawn forward. Obviously could be a big target. I'm going to take that pawn, open the file. I'm still looking at maybe knight forward. Maybe the rook ride across, I'm not sure. It feels like I'm weakening f2 if I do that. Yeah, I'm going to go knight forward. If takes, I can just take back, or I can take the knight first. Probably take the knight first, I would think. Get the cursor off the board. Okay, he does take. So I'm going to take the knight just to hit the queen, and then we'll take back next move, hopefully. Hope I'm not blundering some tactics somehow. So take back and then drop back. Weakened king now with no light squared bishop, but my opponent doesn't have theirs either. So obviously the knight could be a little bit more dangerous now. How do we deal with? Do we concede the open file? There might be a chance at some point to trade a queen for 2 rooks, as long as we have a rook behind the queen if things open up. Like d4, b4 at some point could be playable. See, if checks, I'll just drop back. I could play knight across, but I don't really want to be in a pin, so I'd probably drop the king back. But if I move the other rook across, it feels like I'm weakening the f2 square. Now that might take an awful lot of pressure off though. I can maybe develop the knight with tempo. Bishop takes, queen takes, but I don't see what I'm gaining. I'm walking into another potential pin. So I'm going to trade the bishop. Again, I might have a move like queen across here to try and challenge control of the open file. Maybe we can then get forward. I want the knight back here, but there's still potential to pin. If I drop back, knight down might be a little bit annoying. But I think I need to get back so there's no direct checks, and knight f3 becomes more playable. Knight e4 might be a move, I'm not sure. Again, if I do this, you can imagine knight in and then the queen somehow gets across, and there's a lot of pressure coming. But equally, if I leave the rook there, it's not doing much other than defending one square. So queen across could be a sensible move with an idea to try and get forward at some point. Trade queens and then pressure the pawns. Right, knight's come forward, so probably going here. Knight up I don't think creates any threat. Knight here and it gives my queen a nice square to jump out the way, but then pawn push is a little bit more feasible here. Knight down here or here. Feels playable to me. But it's kind of committal. I mean, I could drop the queen back, but I've wasted moves, but I'm going to do it. If knight in, I'm probably going to go to one of these. Oh, knight's gone there. I've just missed that. I actually missed that threat completely. I didn't see that. So we might have just blundered the game then. Okay, I just missed that the c3 was threatening there, so knight across was obviously much better. The comeback check. I'm in a checkmate threat here now. I'm going to have to go here and here. So I have to get forward and try and cover these queen checks if I can. I'm not sure which was right there. Obviously I can block one check, but I might have to block with f3. It might be better, but my position has just collapsed now. It should be a routine win for my opponent here. Should be. Just missed one simple move, just didn't see it. So it should be relatively routine here. I'm going to go f3 just because I don't want to put the knight into a direct pin. So maybe rook up. But I can't trap the knight. I mean, you can go back and pressure the pawn. I guess I've got knight here. I've got maybe rook here. Ooh, but we've messed this one up. Oh, I just didn't see that one either. Now I've got one square to go here, otherwise I just lose my queen. So that looks forced, doesn't it? So I don't have to think about that. That looks forced. At least my knight's guarding this square for when the knight goes back. There is no trick there. The king's perfectly safe unless I can get the knight to challenge this square. I don't see how. I could play rook forward potentially actually and challenge the 7th rank. But I need the knight here, and then maybe here. Knight here might be a move now. If you play f5, then this is weak. I could come back, it might provoke f5 actually. I'm going to go here. If he does this, I can always drop back and guard the pawn. Otherwise, there's a potential threat to just get forward, but again, rook up might be putting pressure on the pawn if I can get the knight across. Oh, he's actually taken. Ooh, but does this work for him? Take f5. Say I go forward, I'm threatening checkmate then. You can take with check, a step across. Can you defend a checkmate threat? I think I have to take anyway, but I wonder if he's overlooked rook forward. So I'm threatening mate in 1. You can't play rook here to guard it. You can't run the king away. Your queen can't defend. So after rook up, you can't block. You can take with one move. I can sidestep. And what have you got? Actually, if I sidestep onto the lights... Oh, he's alright. I might have to go here. Rook up first. It's a double check, so you have to move your king and you can't take the pawn. If I go here, you've got rook check. If I end up on the light square, you can take again with check. If I end up on the dark square, you can take again with check. Obviously, I could just play king out the way now, takes and takes, but I'm not creating the mate threat. So I want to play rook forward. That's my target move. There is no trick, I don't think, with takes, takes. Or is there? Takes, takes. I don't have a rook check, so no. So rook up, takes. Have I got any other squares I can run to? Like here. If I'm here, there's no rook check without losing the rook. There's no queen check, so you've only got a pawn check. And I think I can step away. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to sack the knight and go here, I think. There's a mate in one threat. I'm committed now. So I think I go here, right? I don't see any queen check in one move. There's only the pawn. If I go here or here... If I take, you've got a queen check, so we don't take. If I go here, you've got a pawn check. If I go here, I don't think you've got any check. So how do you defend the checkmate in one threat? So I think I go king h3. And I don't see what black has got. So I'm going to do it. Now there's a mate in one threat on the board. I don't see the defense, but it doesn't mean there isn't one. I might be missing it. I miss things all the time, of course. That's the thing with amateur level chess. You might think you've got a good position, but you're just missing one crucial move, but I just don't see it. Get the cursor off the board there so there's no accidental slips. And we get the win. That's a very good win. Excellent.